Alright guys, as warned, I did mention I'd run through this. Not sure how much, not all of it, but in a fair amount to let you guys see how it works. I've got another rule set, this Mononapoleonic rule set I'm calling it, in which a single mechanic drives the entire rule set. So we'll get into that as well. I've got this little stick here because the cards on the table are taking up so much space. If I zoom out to capture everything in one screenshot, then it becomes just too small to benefit even watching. So about this distance is pretty good, but we will need to be panning as we go. So this lets me know that once I get to about here, I need to re-up the camera angle because I forget things. So we'll start with orders. The French move first. This is Vimero, 21st of August, 1808. And with that unit there, I can issue a brigade order or individual. I think I'm going to go the individual route. I feel like there's just too much risk involved with a single brigade order, because if that's failed, none of them move, technically. So I'm going to go ahead and do individual orders. Let's go with French line. The morale on them is just a 7. Let me verify that. I took a screenshot of the rules, put it on the iPad. Yeah, 7. So here's what we'll do. And here's the single mechanic that drives all facets of the game. Lost the dice. Here we go. So 7 or less, so we need to roll 7 or less. So let's start with him and see what we get. We rolled a 7, so he gets 1 move. He'll move diagonally. No, let's move him forward. We'll get to diagonals in a second. I want the guy in the middle to move up. So then we'll roll for this guy. Also a morale of 7, so rolling 2 dice 6, we'll roll 7 or less. We rolled a 6, so equal or 1 less is 1 move. That may sound familiar, and it should, because that's straight up black powder stuff. He'll move on to the hill. And then this gentleman here rolled a 3. 4, 5, 6, 7 is 4 less. Now here's my house rules. Infantry can move a maximum of 2. And that's it, not 3. So we'll go 1 and then to here. I need to mark who moved, because we can do moving ranged fire when eligible. I think he is eligible. This guy is eligible. And let's go ahead and roll for this gentleman here. Artillery. That is foot artillery, so foot artillery has French foot artillery or morale of 7 as well. He rolled an 8, so he's going to be staying right there. Now as far as that moving range fire, let's go ahead and resolve it somehow. I don't have a cool stick to use, so I'll have to use this. That is French line. Full strength, moving range fire is 2. 2 translates into 6 or less. So same mechanic. 2 dice 6, we want equal or less. 6 or less in this case. We got a 6. What does that mean? That means we get 1 hit on that dude, and he will drop from, as British line infantry, starting strength of 5, he'll drop down to a 4, and he'll take one of these taking fire dice as well. So he drops to a 4 and 1 taking fire. When you have more taking fire than unit strength, you'll break or just become disordered or something. I'll have to check the rules. I can't even keep up with my own brain. So, and all these different rules, variations start to blend together after a while. Then we run to Command distance, I'm running two move increments for command distance with leaders. Once you've passed or failed an order, that's it. Another leader cannot issue an order to that unit, which is different than what I usually do. We've got the grenadiers here and this guy, and a light cavalry unit who are all going to roll for stuff. I just realized something. That is at what point do the French stop and the British go? Are we going to run through the entire French army here? Let's see what happens. We're going to start with this grenadier unit here. Now he should be, he can ignore one flag, so that translates morale wise to 8. So 8 or less. He rolls a 4, that's plenty, so he can move 2. 1, 2. And he's within moving range fire, so we'll mark him as moved so we don't forget. Next guy. 5, 6. That is 2 moves. But I don't want to move 2. I want to move 1 and stay on the hill there. He is also within range. The leader will move last. Then we have another grenadier here. Fails. So I don't forget, and roll again on him. And then we have a grenadier unit here. Fails. And then our light cavalry, who can move up to 3 moves based on what he rolls. His morale is 7, and we rolled a 6, so that's 1 move. He'll move up 1. Our commander will move. Let's move him 1. Did I not roll for him? I don't think I did. Light infantry is also, so yeah, he's 7 or less. So he can move 1. Now here's a diagonal move. He's going to move from this hill diagonally to this hill. Counts as 1 move. Now if I was to move an additional diagonal move, that would count as 2. So that would be a total of 3 moves. And he's done. He can't do moving range fire because, yes, he can. Light cavalry. So there's 3 units that can do moving range fire. Let's roll for them, shall we? It would be nice to get out of this corner with the wires and the cords and the camera. Alright, so here's our next mechanic that is also driven by the same dice style. So for firing we have, which was already demonstrated, grenadier unit, moving range fire, full strength, that is 2, and again 2 translates to 6 or less. That guy is on a hill, so now it's 5 or less. He rolls a 7, so nothing going on there. Firing at that artillery unit, and probably a modifier, forgot to add in there. Same deal there, grenadier 5 or less. Yep, we're fine. He gets a 7, he got nothing. And then light infantry here. Light infantry moving range fire 3 translates to 7 or less. Firing uphill is now 6 or less. Give me something. Got a 5. So that is 1 hit on that artillery unit. And 1 taking fire marker. So he'll drop from a... yeah, so 1, and he'll drop from 3 with 2. May have to pause at some point to validate the rules. What we had next here? We have, we're here, where's the leader at? Am I missing a leader? Why is there no leader in that area? Where's Sinclair? We have him for the Grenadiers. We should have a dude. I think we're missing a leader. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me pause this. I got a weird thing going on. Hold on. We're back. I had forgotten to place a leader, and I knew that was weird because there was too much of a gap between leaders. So we do have a leader here. Let's re-up our camera angle. And this is to keep track of. I've activated them, and now it's this way, etc. Which brings us to about. We've got this 2 here, right here. Okay, who's next? We've got this guy here. Leaders, I'm just using a random, easy to remember generic 8 for all of them. That can obviously be adjusted to whatever you desire. Let's go with, this is just regular line infantry, which is going to be 7 or less. So we'll roll for him. No. You know what? This. Thank you. Okay. Artillery, foot artillery, yeah. 7 or less on him too. So 4, 5, 6, 7. He gets it. Yeah, he gets it. No moving ranged fire on foot, but I'll move up 1. And then line infantry here. 7 or less. He fails. What about Bob? What about this guy? Speaking of Bob, we've got game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight. Bobrovsky looking to rebound after a weird game 1. 6, that is 1 move. Let's move 1 right into this valley. And then horse artillery can move a maximum of 2. 5, 6, 7. That's 1 move for him. This gentleman here. Line infantry, 7 or less. 4, 5, 6. That's 1 move. So you see, I'm using the same mechanic for command, movement, combat, and get to do morale or rally checks, but it's the same concept. So we have heavy cavalry here. 6, 7 heavy cavalry. That is French heavy cavalry. Yep, so he just moves 1. And now we have potential command issue, as these folks are, unless I've done that wrong again, which is possible, and yes I have. I have neglected to put yet another leader, which should be here. Well, let's amend that, shall we? Yes, right here. Okay. Another leader, pick it up. Order up. There we go. That will bring these guys into command. So now, heavy cavalry, again, what did I say? 7 or less? Yes. 5, 6, so he'll move 1. He's going to move right onto that stream. He'll have to stop because it's not a ford or a bridge. And then here, he is light cavalry. He can move up to 3 if he gets it. 3, 4, 5. 2 moves for him is all he gets. He'll move off of the bridge. Yeah, that's a bridge. Card turned upside down represents bridge. 1. Where the hell is he going? Well, let's think about this. 1, 2. Let's check movement on moving into that town. Can we do that into Movement effects just messed up. Yeah, so we moved right into Toledo, not Ohio. So there's that. He's done. Okay, what's next? Camera angle. Hopefully that was all on camera. And now the right flank, and then we'll go to the British. We've got this guy here, and then this guy one, and then these guys will have a command issue over here. No, we won't. How did I forget all those commanders? Lord. I think I was focusing so much on proper unit placement. There we go. Okay, everybody happy? I hope I didn't do that with the British too. Yeah, we're good now. Line infantry 7 or less on him. He rolls 4, 5, 6, which means he can what? Move 1. What move it is, he's going to go diagonal right here. And then light infantry, nothing special about them really. They're also 7 or less. 5, and he fails. So as you'll notice, anybody familiar with black powder, there's caveats to failing your command checks, and it has often to do with formations such as column, march column, etc. While I can work that in here, it proves to be a bit of a challenge, so I'm sticking more with the commands and colors style with non-adherence to formation except for square. So 1, 2, we got all these guys. Infantry line here, what's he got? 7 or less, what's he get? 4, he fails, this guy. 3, 4, 5, he can move 2. Let's do it. 1, 2 onto the hill. Foot artillery. Nothing. Commander. Let's move him up here. Right along. Light infantry 7 or less. 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. 1, 2 right here and do moving ranged fire. This guy, line, 7 or less, fails. This guy is light infantry, 7 or less, fails, and then more line, 4, 5, he can move 2. Let's do that, shall we? 1 diagonal. Now if I was to go another diagonal, that would be 3. I can only move 2 as infantry maximum, so I could stay here or go forward 1 for my second move. And then let's get here. 7 or less. 4, 5, 6. So he moves 1. He's going to attach commander's going to go with, so put him on the hill. And finally this guy here. More line. 5, 6. 1 move right there. So we got a little bit of momentum, not much. We've got some fire to resolve here. Let's do so. He's just in the open, not in the woods or on a hill. Check our rules for infantry, Legier, light infantry that moved is 3. I think that translates to 7 or less. 4 moving range fire, not bad. We get an 8, so nothing. Maximum amount of hits you can inflict is 3 at one time. At least that's the way I've been doing. Okay, that's the end of the French. Now we roll to, this is going to be a bit more of a challenge as far as accessing the camera. you guys being able to see what I'm doing. Bear with me here while I do the British. It's a bit more difficult to see. You know what? What if I do this? I feel like... Let me pause this again. Unpause. Maybe that's a little better. Maybe not. So you can see a little about what's going on. You'll just have to bear with me while we run through this. And that puts me at here. So once I get to here, we gotta readjust. Microphone's probably going to be a little weaker. Let's run through all this now. We have Portuguese units up here to fiddle with. I've got this new, it's like a kind of liner for toolboxes. I bought 3 rolls of it, and I thought they were the wrong size, but the width of 3 of them actually fit the table pretty darn good, and it's great stuff, man. Okay, enough from our sponsor. Let's go with, what did I say, Portuguese. I'm going to need this. Let's see. So we've got 2 French line. There should be a leader, right? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. And yes, there is. I'm verifying that I have the leaders I'm supposed to have. 3, and then 3 more. 1, 2. Yes, I did the British fine. Okay, let's roll for the British. We've got a line unit here, so British line. It is also 7 less. 5, 6, 7. He gets 1 move. We'll move him up 1 with the attached commander. There's enough cards on the table. You'll notice there's no grid or hex pattern or anything. You don't need it when you have this many cards in play. They create the spaces, as it were. I've always been kind of a fan of that clean look. So if he's done, I will need this to keep track of what's going on. Let's roll with this guy. 7 less. What's he going to get? 3, 4, 5. He can move 2. That'll put him 1 and 2 right in this town, which is a good thing. And then that should be now Portuguese for a moment, at least up back here. Yeah. Portuguese line is also a 7. 6, 7, 8. He fails. Portuguese line. He fails. Portuguese light. 6. He gets 1. That'll put him in the woods. Leader. Portuguese line. Fails, and Portuguese line. 4, 5, 6, 7 gets 1 move. Can't forget these 3 up front. This is British. We've got a light infantry unit. Fails. That's just a leader attached to a line unit. 1, 2, 3. He succeeds, but I don't know that I want to move. Now that I think about it, I think he's going to fire. Fire him, and then this guy here. 5, 6. That gives me 1 move. Yeah, we're going to move once diagonally and try and go into that town. Let's fire him off. That was British line. Moving range fire. 2 means 6 or less. On a hill becomes 5 or less. He gets an 8, so nothing. And now we go to here. Move this stuff. 6. That's another good thing about this. Basically, rubber that's laid down here. It's very skid-proof, slip-proof. Things stay where you put them. Case in point, that could have been bad if this was slickery underneath. Okay. I don't want that there after all. I gotta see what's going on. Let's go with artillery here. It's foot artillery. He's not moving anywhere. Doesn't really have anything to fire at. Line infantry, 8, nothing. We are here. Line infantry here. 4, 5. He gets 2 moves. 1, 2. It's a hell of a, shouldn't be that much of a gap. Okay, and then now light cavalry, so they could move up to 3, but they won't. Light cavalry, 5, 6. Only 1 move for him. Got leader there. And line infantry here. 4, 5. So he has 2 moves. 6, 7. 1, 2. Line infantry 4. He fails. More line. What's he gonna get? A fail. Artillery. Can he do anything, for God's sakes? Yes. 4, 5, 6. He'll move 1. Couldn't move 2 because he's horse, but he didn't roll it. And heavy cavalry can move up to 2. He fails his stuff, so not very good rolls for the British. And that brings us over to the British right flank. You could also do this chit bowl, so it's more back and forth, random, rather than you go, I go. We've got rifles here. Let's roll for them first. Let's readjust the camera, actually. There we go. Rifles want to fire. They don't need to roll command and move, because again, this is a straight black powder roll. If they're happy where they're at, they can just fire. They're firing 1, 2. Yeah, they got that. Let's see if we can get something. British rifles. Rifle, light infantry, not moving. It's going to be 8 or less. Modifiers, what are we firing at? We're firing at artillery. On a hill. So that drops to 7 or less. Like this. We rolled a 6, so we got 1 hit. And 1 taking fire marker. That artillery will drop from a 4, no, 3 to a 2, and 2, 1 taking fire marker. Fired at once, was he not? This should be a 2, and this yellow die should be a 1. I just noticed that. Okay. Rifles done, did their duty. This is here. 7 less on him. He's going to want to move. 6, 7, 8 fails. This guy here, light cavalry, fails. Line infantry here. Wants to fire, and he doesn't need to roll to do that. line infantry, British line infantry, standing range fire. 5 translates to 9 or less, but he's on a hill, so it's 8 or less. 6, 7, he gets a hit. And taking fire marker. So he'll go from a 4 to a 3 with one of these guys. That was our light infantry there. Artillery's going to fire. He has been reduced somewhat. All in an effort to keep track of what I'm doing. So now it's that one. I haven't done these yet. That one. That's British foot artillery, yes. Standing range fire, 1 2-hex range is 3 or less. No, not 3 or less. 3. Yeah, 3, which means 7 or less. Drops to 6 or less for the hill. And as you might imagine, he got nothing for his trouble. Line infantry here, he's going to want to move, cannot. Light cavalry here. Can't do a damn thing. Let me go this way. This might look weird that I'm doing this, but trust me, I will lose track of what the hell I'm doing in a heartbeat. Let's start back here. This guy, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 can move 2, 1, 2 right here. What do I need? I need to know that I moved him. The easiest way to do that is, hold on. I'm a mess, guys. I'm a mess. If I don't mark that he moved, I'll try and activate him 5 more times. So he's moved. Let's go with this guy here. Actually, he had 2 moves, but I'm pretty sure I ran out of stream cards, so that's just a hardcore stream, and it's not a ford that he moved on, so he has to stop on the stream. Guy here. Ooh, cool. 2 moves. 1, 2, straight forward. Here. So MS 3, 4, a little bit better rolls here. 1, 2. This guy here. Artillery. Move. He's gonna fire, he's gonna fire, he's gonna fire. This guy is gonna chill. These 2, so line infantry here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 moves, but unless it's a ford, it's a stream hex. Oh, it is a ford, so he can go ba-doo, ba-doo, and be done. And then this guy here, 4, 5, also gets 2 moves. 4 to hex into the woods. Leader will move up here, and then that leaves these 3. I can take these off now. I'm confident in my memory at this point. Let's fire with this guy firing at grenadiers on a hill. That's standing ranged fire line infantry. British 5 means 9 or less drops to 8 or less. He gets an 8. So that's 1 hit and 1 taking fire marker. Line infantry is just 4. No, that's Prussia. Line infantry is 5, so we'll drop to a 4. I almost dropped that. But I didn't. Nope. 4. I've dropped to a 3, for God's sakes. 1. Next. Same thing, eh? 9 or less drops to 8 or less. He got a 12, so that's terrible. Nothing going on there. And then light infantry firing here. Light infantry. So 5, so 4 strength, light infantry standing range fire is 5 or less versus 9 or less. Mining is a modifier firing infantry, so 9 or less minus 1 is 7 to 6. Verify that 4 strength, light infantry is 5 or less, 9 or less. 6, 7. He got 3 hits on that dude. God's sakes. He's now down to a 1 with 1 taking fire marker. Well, good shooting by the old British light infantry there. And that's it for turn 1. Modifiers got a little wonky there, some were ignored completely. And again, the reason for that is if we're doing commands and colors, combat-wise, they use the funky dice with the weird faces, and when you're firing at infantry, your odds go up. That needs to be reflected in anything that I do. When you conduct melee against somebody, your odds go up. When you conduct melee against infantry, your odds go way up. So these are things that need to be taken into account that I have in the rules, but for whatever reason I've neglected to implement them until the end there. Maybe we'll go another half a turn. Let's do the French. Bring all this stuff hither and thither. Put here. Fix the camera in 1 second. Just give me a moment. Be patient. Here and this here. Stuff everywhere. Are we good now with things and whatnots? No. This and this. Yeah, we'll run through the French turn again. Here. Now we're good? Yeah, we're good. Well, I'm going to pause and readjust the camera. Okay. We are about there, which means we are we get to here. We need to readjust. Okay. Still don't have anybody needs to rally. We have a unit here that is close. He's down to 1, but his taking fire markers do not exceed his current strength. So he's fine. I'm going to pause one more time and brief myself on the rules real quick. So yet another rule I had added in here that I've neglected to follow. So anytime you roll a 1 when you're firing, the unit is disordered. At least that's what I have. Did I do the yeah, and if you roll snake eyes, it's automatically broken. We need to remember these things. They're in the rules for a reason. Let's remember them. Okay, this is turn 2. Where's a good turn marker? How many turns are in this thing? I don't know. But I'm keeping track of where I'm at here. This is turn 2, the French turn. Did I remember to hit record again? Yes. I'm talking to nobody. French turn, turn 2. Here we go. We want to, we're fine where we are there with that dude that's almost broken. We do want to move these 2 units up, him up, and that is it as far as his range, command range. So 7 or less in that far left guy, and he gets two moves. One should be sufficient, because then we can move fire. I don't want to move adjacent just yet. And then this guy here is going to want to move. And he cannot. Then this guy here is going to want to move. 6, he cannot either. Let's go ahead and fire this guy. He's down to 1 strength. French line. Those terrible odds. So 1 is going to be 5 or less, and he's probably on a stinking hill. I don't see anything happening here. He's on a hill. I think that's what that is, a hill. So now it's 4 or less. You never know. And I got a hit. Roll a 3, and I got a 1. Awesome. Just when you think nothing would happen, he got a hit, and the dude is it's not broken, but he's disordered. So how do we represent that? How many he got? Yep, he got 1 hit. So this goes down to 3. This comes up to 2, and he's what I'm calling disordered because one of the dice was a 1. So the numerical value is no meaning here, but the black die represents being disordered. Very cool. Not broken, just disordered. Call it shaken if you want. Whatever you prefer. And then our moving range fire there with that dude. Not too much better. 2 means 6 or less. And I'm just taking the unit stats from the commands and color stuff and looking at my translation here, and 2 is 6 or less. 5 or less because he's on the hill. And he got nothing as expected. But that was cool. These guys actually did something you wouldn't expect. What else? That was all of that. 1, 2, that brings us to here. Let's go ahead and roll for this guy. Light cavalry. 7 or less, he's got nothing. Grenadier unit here. He's gonna, he's gonna fire, so he won't need to roll for anything. Only rolling command to move if you want to move. Let's roll him. He is a 3 strength grenadier unit, standing range fire, 5 or less. No modifiers, or yes, he's on a hill. So standing grenadier, 3 strength grenadier unit drops to a 4. 4 is 8 or less, drops to 7 or less. 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 2 hits and a disorder on this guy here. Oh, actually, you know what? He would be done then if we got 2 hits, because that's all he has left. So there's our first casualty. Oh, he's done. Okay. And then that was these guys, right? He's going to want to move. So let's roll that up. 7 or less, right? Grenadier. No, he's 8 or less. And he rolled a 10, so it doesn't matter. He's going to fire. Right he's on a hill. That is light infantry. What am I looking at that for? Light infantry, 3 strength. Standing range fire is 4, which means 8 or less. He's on a hill, so 7 or less. And he failed that. This guy's going to move. This guy here. So we'll move him. 7 or less. 6, 7, 8 fails. There's a lot of fails, I'll tell you. This guy here. No, that was 1 move. He's grenadier. Actually, no, it wasn't. And that brings us here. 8 or less. Before he's got 2 whoppers, 2 whopping moves coming up. 1, 2. Awesome. Remember this way. So we can draw command from him now. As we move away from him. What does he want to do? He's going to fire. That is French foot artillery. What range? 1, 2 hex range. Hex range, just a 2 range. 2 to 3 blocks. 2 range is a 3, which is 7 or less, but that dude's on a damn hill. So now it's 6 or less. Goes back up to 7 or less because it's infantry. Doesn't matter, he missed. And then here, this guy's going to want to move. There's a hill in his way. He cannot move. The hill stays in his way. This guy here, let's try and move him. 7 or less. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got that move. He's going to go right here on a hill, conduct melee against that rifles unit. Oh, he's behind a wall. Okay. So let's do that. We're doing camera-wise. Yeah, we're good. So melee, who is this? This is regular line infantry. Line infantry. Full strength against infantry 5 or less. Which would be 9 or less, but he's behind a wall, so now it's 8 or less. 6, 7, 8, 9, and he failed. So rifles battling back. Rifle light infantry. Ouch. Not very good odds. 3 or less, which is 7 or less, bumps up to 8 or less. Because it's infantry, bumps back down to 7 or less because they're on a hill. And he got it. In fact, he got 3 hits on them. Got 3 hits on him. Drops him to a 1. 1 taking fire marker. Now there is a 1 on the one of the 2 dice, so I guess he's also disordered according to my rules. Tempted to change that too. It has to be the colored die that is a 1, not either of them. Horse artillery. Right there. Can move 2 if he wants, and he will move 2. Won't be able to fire, but watch him move down the lane. 1, 2. Lost my marker. That lets me know his horse. There. Let's see if we can get this heavy cavalry rolling up. Come on now. And we do 3. He gets 2 moves. 1, 2 here. We've got this unit here that we need to roll for line. 2 moves if we want it. We'll take it. 1, 2. Let's go. Right there. What do you say? We've got line Infantry conducting melee. Now again, they're behind a wall, but I'm not worried about that. It's going to be a 5, which is a 9 or less, drops to 8 or less for the wall. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 3 hits on him. Well, he's only... What strength is he? Light infantry. Rifle, light infantry. He's only 3 blocks anyway, so that dude's gone. Another casualty. That's 2 British casualties now. Let's roll for this heavy cavalry here. 6, 7. He'll get 1 move. Put him right here. And then this guy here is light cavalry with a leader. Excuse me. Let's roll him up. 7 or less. He's not going anywhere. Brings us to here. Let's adjust camera. What time is it? The cat thinks it's 5. It's not. It's not 5. You lied. Trying to trick me. 7 or less on that line unit. He gets it. Moves up 1. You know you're having fun when you get lost in what you're doing, and that's when I can say, yeah, the rules that I've come up with or whatever has passed the test. I'm kind of losing myself in this. This guy here is a leader. Brings us to this guy here, light infantry. 7 or less. 6, 7 gets 1 move. I like the unpredictability of not knowing how far you're going to move. That's always a fun addition, playing solo. Heavy cavalry here, 3, 4. He's going to get 2 full moves. And guess what? We're going to take a second town here. That's now a French town. And we can conduct melee into that dude. Heavy cavalry. That's going to be... Wait, what's the modifier for battling, cavalry battling out of? Oh, that's terrible. I'm not even gonna, it's a -3 modifier, so for instance, that would be 5, which means 9 or less, drops to basically 6 or less. Let's go ahead and roll it. Goes up to 7 or less because we're battling infantry, goes back up to 8 because it's melee, so I'll take it. 3 hits. I'm glad I did it. Taking fire marker, and the dude's disordered. I'm gonna have to fix that disorder thing, I think. I'm saying it's gotta be the colored die that needs to be disordered. So this guy's down to 1. Heavy cavalry lit him up. That's 1. He is going to be able to battle back. That is line infantry. You know, again, so you notice you don't need to roll to fire or conduct melee. Roll command. I guess if you want to move adjacent to you need to, but you know what I mean. 1 strength is a 1, and a 1 is a 5 or less. Drops to what? 3 or less. He doesn't have this. No, he doesn't have that. Get this foot artillery up, please. No, okay. Even though I'm keeping track of what I'm doing here, I still feel like I'm forgetting things as far as activating unit 6. He's failed. He's going to fire, so we don't need to roll for him. That brings us to this guy. 5, 6, 7. He can move 1. Let's move him laterally to the hill and conduct moving range fire on that guy. See, I can't remember if I did him. I'm going to say I didn't. and so moving range fire there, standing range fire there, so moving range fire for French line, full strength, no, moving range fire, full strength. It's 2 and 2s come out to 6s or lesses. I'm gonna fire him, he's French. So scratch that. And it's too far. 1, 2, 3, yeah, it's too far to fire that way. So forget what I was talking about, I'm confused. Standing range fire there. That is light infantry. We should get something here. Standing range fire. 5 means 9 or less. Is he on anything? Are you on drugs? No. Okay, 9 or less it is. 6, 7, 8. Equal or 1 less is 1 hit. So one of these guys, one of these guys. It's going to drop from light infantry. Is British light infantry 5 strength? Yes, and why is that? Why are they so beefed up? So it dropped to 4 and 1. Roll command on that guy, 7 or less. Gets it, he gets it, he gets it. 2 up, 1, 2. Light infantry there. 4, 5, 6, 7. He can move up 1 into the woods. And then final 2 units, we've got 2 line units here. Let's roll them up. Nothing, and 3, 4. 2 moves for him. We can go, now if we move into the woods, we're going to have to stop. When we move here, that's going to be 2 diagonals. Don't have no movement for that either. Once you move into the woods, you must stop. Yeah. So we won't be able to reach another town before the British do. So that'll be 1, 2. Well, there's somebody over here, right? 3. That'll be 3 towns the British have taken. I'm sorry, the French have taken just virtually with no effort. Mark that. Yeah. Is this another one? No, it's just a hill. It's just a hill. Okay. I think that's it for now. I've got some work to do on this, but it is a lot of fun. Sorry about the camera. It's very cool. I enjoyed it. Something new and different. So yeah, leave your comments about how you think this went. Is it a good idea to have one single mechanic to run an entire system? Just the whole equal or less than on 2 dice 6 for everything. I think it works. So alright guys, till next time. Bye bye.